I bought these Prismacolor pencils to try out, and since this is my first time using them, I decided to make a video about it and share my experiences. These pencils have been very popular for a long time, and they have been talked about so much by so many different artists. And as someone who has read so many reviews about these coloring pencils, I understand that these can be quite a controversial set of pencils. There has been a lot of concern about the quality of these pencils deteriorating over time, and the question of whether they're still worth it. I won't get into that because I think it's already been talked about so much. I actually haven't used these pencils before. They're not very commonly sold where I live, but I really wanted to try them out. I got the 36 set, and they come in this tin, and there are more pencils under the tin. There's 3 layers of pencils, and they came like this. They don't seem to be very organized in a particular way. Most pencils I get, they are usually at least organized by color, but these weren't, so I may have to just reorganize them later on. They came sharpened, and they must have been sharpened with a very small sharpener because they all have such a small point to it. The only pencil I immediately tried out as soon as I got this set was the white color pencil, and it looks quite different to others after sharpening them. I think the white Prismacolor pencil is one of the best white pencils I've used. So yeah, it's very opaque and pigmented, and I'm really excited to use it more on my drawings. So yeah, I'm trying to have a closer look at these coloring pencils. They have the name of the pigment in English, and I think in French as well. They have the number of the pencils right at the bottom, and that's it really. Apparently these pencils do come in open stock, which I didn't know they did. Although, because these pencils are already quite hard to find where I'm from, I'm not sure how easy it would be for me to get individual pencils anyway. I may have to order them, so I don't know, I'm still a bit confused about that, and I may be mistaken, so do let me know if they have an open stock. Open stock just means if whether these pencils are sold separately, because it lets you replace individual coloring pencils if they are to run out. The only one I would be interested in getting would be the white Prismacolor pencil, so it would still be useful for me. And while I was doing more research, I found that apparently using the right type of sharpener for these pencils is vital because of how delicate, I guess, they can be. So I'm thinking I may also have to invest in some good sharpeners to use on these pencils. And the lead is so soft, you can even see at the top of the tin some of the lead are already out from just being in the plastic case set. And they have an open barrel at the end, so you can see the lead of the pencil at the end. Pencils with closed barrels tend to have an extra layer of protection to stop the lead from breaking, and Prismacolor, because of how soft the lead is, they are quite well known to break very easily, and you have to handle them super carefully, which can be a bit stressful at times, at least for me, because I'm very clumsy and I work in a very messy environment, so my pencils tend to often fall down or go missing. But then, I mean, that might just be a me problem, but regardless, I really appreciate a coloring pencil that I can easily travel with and work with without having to worry too much about breaking it every time. So I don't know how much I will like these pencils because of it. I mean, especially for the price, they tend to cost differently depending on where you're from, but they're not the cheapest pencils out there where I'm from, and I can only order them online, so I would really expect better quality of pencils for that price. I think these are the cheapest in America, but if you're from anywhere else, they can be more expensive, probably because of the shipping costs and whatnot. I mean, that's the most common complaint with the Prismacolor pencils, but that's not to say that these are bad quality pencils by any means. It's just naturally I'm a little concerned about that, so I'll just have to look and see. Although I was told that a good sharpener makes a big difference, so I will definitely have to look into that as well. I'm sure there are many ways around it, but because how popular these pencils are and how well they're really known for their pigmentation, and so they can be really good starter coloring pencils at least. So yeah, they come in different sets. This is the 36 set, and I quite like this variety of colors that come with the set, but they do have much larger sets for different prices as well. So it depends on what your budget is and how many pencils you are actually looking to work with. So I'm just going to organize these pencils slightly differently because I'm going to swatch them later on, and I want to swatch them in a slightly different order. I'm going to put the lighter colors together and just group them a little differently. And yeah, I think I'm quite happy with how that looks like right now. Yeah. For the swatching and the drawing, I'm going to use a Daler Rowney A5 sheets of paper to draw on. I've been enjoying drawing on this paper. It's smooth, it's heavyweight, it's acid free, and the pages are pretty smooth with not a whole lot of texture on the pages. And right now that's the kind of paper I've been working with, and they're quite thick as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with that paper. And as I already start swatching, I see that the pencils are very pigmented, as I expected, and I really like that. They are very soft and they go into the page really nicely. And yeah, it should be noted that Prismacolor pencils are wax-based pencils, so every pencil is made of a wooden barrel and you have the pigment inside the pencil, but you also have the binder that holds the pigment together. And one of the most common binders are either wax or oil, which is why you get oil-based pencils and wax-based pencils. There are obviously other different kind of pencils as well, but these give the pencil different properties in terms of how well they blend together and how much they layer on top of each other, how pigmented they are, and so on. Neither of them are better than the other, it's just they have different uses. Some of them are better for different coloring techniques, and it all comes down to preference really. But yeah, these are mainly wax-based pencils. I really like how they blend with each other, and the pigment is probably my favorite thing about these pencils. I think I can definitely work with them. I just have to be careful with it and sharpen them very carefully and things like that. But I think it's definitely worth having at least a small set of these coloring pencils because they look like they be really good for practice. And I think you'll understand what I mean when you actually see me draw with these. So right now I'm just doing a quick sketch of these. They're meant to be just some macaroons. I also noticed that I can use my rubber and rub out some of the color of the pencils as well if I make a mistake. But yeah, it just goes to show how soft these pencils are and how, you know, they really blend into the page. But as you can see here, I'm starting off with some of the pink, some red, orange-ish colors, and the more I layer on top of them, it's like I've just been adding more and more layers, and they are blending really nicely together. So I think these would be really good pencils to layer with, but also just blend with them without layering as much. Blending takes a long time, and it can take quite a bit of patience, especially for if you are just starting out with coloring pencils and things like that. And even with me, sometimes I really struggle with layering. So I think when I was using these pencils, I was just not really thinking too much about layering, but I was just having a lot of fun with it. And I think the colors are coming out really nicely. They are so pigmented and bright. And this is only the 36 color set, but if you get a bigger set, there will be a lot bigger range of colors, and you'll be able to pick the color that you need, that's required, and put them straight into the page and just blend them like that, as opposed to layering with the lightest colors first. But I think that's probably why they are quite good for beginner artists. But yeah, I can definitely see why these will be fun to use. I think they will be really good for practice. And if you do live in a country where these are pretty cheap and inexpensive, I think it's definitely a good idea to just get them and practice with them. It's not a bad idea at all. It's just, for me, it depends on the availability of these pencils, and also because they are so soft, I find myself needing to sharpen them quite often. So I'm also thinking about how long these pencils will actually last. So even if even if I get a large set of these, if I use them very often, how long will they actually take before I run out of them, is also what I'm thinking as well. But, you know, apart from all of these things, I think this was really fun to use. So yeah, I'm just going to let you enjoy the rest of the video.